So I was in Poland, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Serbia. I felt in many ways that I was in 1950s United States. There was an innocence that I saw in life there that we have lost in America. Kids were playing in such innocent ways, young kids. I saw, I guess, a sister and a brother. I would say they were both under 10 years of age, and they were doing, patty cake, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, how often do you see that in the United States? I saw couples walking, holding hands, young couples, middle-aged couples, old couples, vast numbers of them. I got a lot of pictures of this. I hope to put them up. And just people walking around, the lack of palpable tension that one feels in any major city in the United States today with regard to crime and homelessness and sorry to say poop, but that's part of it. I wondered, where were all the homeless people in all these countries? Why do they not seem to be suffering from this as we do? It was just a celebration of normal life. I wonder if the depression rate among young people in Eastern or Western Europe is anywhere analogous to the depression rate among young people in the United States. I mean, the number of young people who have even say they have contemplated suicide, the number of young people on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicines, is really is a frightening statistic. The highest number of depressed young people in American history are living today in the United States of America. Why is all of this happening? And it is not universal. There are issues everywhere in the world. I'm not romanticizing other countries any more than I romanticized the United States in the past when I went to other countries. But I have to call it like I see it, the way they say referees and umpires in sports. You have to call them as they see them. I don't have a national or ethnic bias here. We are really suffering. The suffering is been induced by some very bad ideas, toxic ideas in the United States, which the world is feeling. I mean, this notion that children should decide if they're a boy or a girl, I can't tell you how sick. That's the only word I can think of. It is sick. It is a sick idea. There are boys and there are girls. My dear viewers, you cannot change your sex. You can feel that you are the other sex. You can feel anything, but you cannot, in fact, change it. You can look it. You can take the name of it. You can take the pronoun, but you are not it. This is brand new in Western history. This is that young people are so confused in this regard, and you don't have that in Europe nearly to the extent that you have it in the United States. This is all policy-driven. All of this has been induced. The inflation in the United States has been induced by the printing of staggering sums of money. Well, anyway, that was some of my thinking in Europe. I had never had this before. I have gone abroad every year of my life since I was 18 years of age, somewhere in the world. I've been to Europe very many times. I studied in Europe when I was in college. And every time I returned to the United States, I would feel like kissing the ground at the airport, whichever airport I arrived at, and seeing the American flag and being told by the immigration officer, "Welcome home, sir." And now it's not the same. I don't want to depress you, but I have too much respect. I've felt this for 40 years of broadcasting. I have too much respect for the people who listen to me to just try to make them feel good. That's not my task. My task is to tell you the truth as best as I can define it, and to have you fight for the values that made Western civilization possible, and specifically the United States of America to be a beacon of freedom in a world. Those values are being lost.